Hello, and thanks for joining me on this episode of Simply Saturday. My name is Julie, and this is Stamp with Julie Baum. Today's card is going to be using the Attention Shoppers stamp set, which I've used quite a bit since this became available. And as I've mentioned before, it was kind of a surprise because I wasn't entirely sure how many cards I would want to make about shopping and the grocery cart. But with that said, I have used the treat yourself, the happy birthday, the thanks, and the just for you multiple times, and I've used all of these images so many times. The little grocery cart, not as much, but when I do use it, it's simply adorable. So we'll be using stamps from this set, and we're using a background or a card base out of Bubble Bath. So this piece is 5.5 inches by 8.5 inches, and I have made two score lines on here, one at 3 inches and one at 7.25 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and use my bone folder to really reinforce those folds. The reason I say that is this little flap it's so small that it doesn't have a lot of weight to it, and so it will want to kind of keep popping open. So I really reinforce that fold back one way and then back the other way to break down those paper fibers, just to help it stay down a little bit better than it normally would. All right, so there we've got our card base. Now for all of the other pieces, you can just click on more in the description box below this video and you'll find all of the dimensions in case I forget to mention something. I'm not sure that I'm going to use this lemon lolly ribbon, but it definitely coordinates, so I pulled that out in case we decide to use it. All right, I have my designer series paper here, and what we're going to do is attach our larger piece to this flap and our smaller coordinating piece to this flap. Let's go ahead and do that. Now, when I first made this card, I was actually working on fall cards or gratitude month cards, like I like to think of the month of November as gratitude month. And so I do have two of those to show you at the end of this tutorial. And after that, I liked the card layout so much that I wanted to do more of a generic one. And I feel like thank you cards and birthday cards are kind of generic. You could just make them whenever you're in the mood, set them aside, and then when you need a card, they're sitting there waiting for you. So that's the one I'm showing you right now, is the birthday version. But I'm very, very excited to show you my gratitude cards. All right, so I've got my pieces of designer series paper glued on here. This one is 1 inch by 5.25, and this one is 2.75 inches by 5.25. All right, then ahead of time, I went ahead and die cut out of Nested Essentials. That is this set of dies. I went ahead and did the two smaller rounded rectangles from this set. So I've got a lemon lolly one and a white one. Here are those two dies. Okay, so I've got those pre-done. And then I will do some stamping and some die cutting here while we go through the steps. So the last pieces that I have sitting here are for the inside of the card. So this white piece is 4 inches by 5.25, and I took another scrap of that same designer series paper that is 3/4 inch wide, and I'm just going to go ahead and attach it to this piece of white, and that's going to be our inside panel. On the other cards that I'll show you, I stamped on this inside piece, and on this one instead, I just wanted a piece of designer series paper. So that way you're going to get to see both versions. All right, this piece of designer series paper is a tad bit long, which actually suits me quite well because I can lay it on here the way that I want it and then trim off this little smidge that's hanging off. Often, if I'm putting a piece of designer series paper onto a panel like this, I will purposely make it longer, like sometimes a half to an inch longer, so that I can lay it on there, glue it on in the right position, and then snip the ends off. All right, we've got our inside piece. That was fast and easy. So I'll go ahead and use my multi-purpose liquid glue and attach it to the inside here. In this instance, I've got my strip of designer series paper on the left. I will show you one where I put the strip of paper on this side so you can see that difference as well. There's so many little things that you can do just to change it up a little bit and make it yours. All right, there's the outside and the inside. Now let's do our stamping and decorating. So I've just got some white scraps here, basic white cardstock. And then of course I have those two pieces that we already talked about. What I'm going to do is stamp happy birthday on this white one. And the happy birthday from that stamp set just barely fits onto here. I mean, it goes edge to edge. So you'll see what I mean when I stamp it. I think I used a different color ink with this stamp a couple of minutes ago. So I'm going to clean it off, and I'm going to use Berry Burst this time. For the happy birthday. All right, and now I want to center it right on this little piece because, as I mentioned, it goes from one edge all the way to the other. All right, there's our happy birthday. And I'm going to, let's see, what do we want to do? Let's put that up on dimensionals. Of course, if you don't want to, or you're trying to do this the most super fast way, you could skip the dimensionals and just throw some glue on there. But I'm going to go ahead and pop this up with 2 dimensionals. And put that onto this yellow piece. And when I was thinking about this, I thought that this could definitely go off center like so, depending on what else you're going to add to this. I really like that idea. I'm going to go ahead and put it right in the middle. That works as well. And sometimes it's easier to not overthink it and to just do what seems natural, which would be to center this on there. All right, so we've got that into place. What I'm going to do is on the edge of this, I'm going to put 2 little strips of tear and tape. And I'll hold it up to the card and you'll see why we're only putting the tear and tape on this one end. This piece might be a little long. Oh, I think it's barely going to work. Okay. So the reason that I've just got it on that end is this is going to go onto the card only on this left flap. Now we're going to figure out where we want to put it once we're ready, but that's why I don't want any adhesive on this side because I don't want to accidentally glue the card shut. So that's why I've prepped it like so, and we will add it as soon as we get these pieces ready to add to the front as well. So with some Memento Tuxedo Black ink, I'm going to go ahead and stamp my, oh, my other line is ringing. Hold on. Huh, I've never had that happen while I'm recording. I guess that's pretty lucky. Okay, with my black ink, and also I'm going to use my chamois to wipe my fingers. I think I've got some ink on me. So I'll just clean that up a little bit. All right, there we go. All right, back to my black ink. I'm going to use the gift package stamp. And I'll put that onto this piece. It almost would have fit on that skinny little piece. And then the plant. I use the cake and the bottle of wine or champagne stamp so much that I wanted to use the plant this time and kind of use something different. So I chose the package and the plant. We might even need 3 things, but let's start with 2 and see where we end up. especially because the package is a nice good size. All right, I'll do a little bit of quick coloring with my Stampin' Blends. So on the little potted plant, I'm going to use Pretty Peacock for the pot. And for Fast and Easy, I'm just going to color the whole pot in Pretty Peacock, and this is the light. Then I'll grab Dark, and let's just make the center stripe darker. So it's all Pretty Peacock, but we've kind of got it light and dark. All right, there we go. And then for the leaves, I want to use a nice bright green. And so I'm going to use Granny Apple Green in light and do my leaves. And then I think what I'll do is take Granny Apple Green dark. Let's see if there's enough contrast. Otherwise, I'll choose a second color of green. This is the dark Granny Apple, and just put a little, oh yeah, that's going to work. A little bit of accent there. And I'm going to even come in and put a little color down here on the stems. It won't really show up, but I feel like it made it a little bit richer. Okay, there's our plant. And we're going to get this die cut out in just a moment. Let's go ahead and color this. And in this case, I'm going to do my tissue paper in 3 different colors. If you've watched me color this package before, sometimes I will do one color and then make it look like white tissue paper with colored polka dots. I've done that several times, so today we'll do something different. So it looks like I kept my dark, did I? Yes. So this is Granny Apple Green Dark. And let's use Bubble Bath. I'm pulling colors that are already expressed here in the paper. So that's kind of how I'm choosing my color scheme. All right, let's do this big piece in Bubble Bath, which is a lovely pink. All right, and then I'm going to do this one in the Granny Apple, but I want to go to light because this one was a little darker than I probably would have chosen, but it's already on there now, so we're going with it. All right, there's that. And then for these last 2 pieces that are peeking out, I could use Berry Burst, I could use Misty Moonlight, I could use Lemon Lolly. Let's do this. Let's use Misty Moonlight. Let me find that marker. All right, here's Misty Moonlight Light. And then I'm going to do the gift bag in yellow. We'll see how that comes out. This is kind of dark for tissue paper, but that's good. It's very different from what I've done in the past. All right, there we go. I mean, you can't go wrong because the colors work, so you really can't go wrong. All right, I've got my Lemon Lolly light and dark. And I'll just get the bag completely colored in with the light. And if you are a regular viewer, you've heard me say that sometimes when my little Yorkie, one of my 2 Yorkies, is in the room, that she's all cuddled up and sleeping and snoring. Well, she just got out of her bed. I'm wondering if she's going to come over here and say hello. All right, and then I'm just using the dark to add a little bit of shadowing, give it some interest here, a little bit more pop. And I'm going to blend that a little bit with my light again, like so. All right, there's our bag. Now I'm going to take these 2 pieces over to my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and I'm going to die cut them, and then I'll bring them right back. Casey, are you going to come say hello to the crafting friends? Come here, baby. All right, so I've got these two pieces that I just cut out on the Stampin' Cut. And you can see that I did tape my dies to the paper. I just didn't want the die to slide at all. I did both of them at the same time. So the die was placed onto the stamped image, and I'm reviewing this in case you're newer to crafting. Then I used a little bit of artist tape, which is a low tack tape, to tape it down so that the die wouldn't move around. And now I carefully remove the tape, and I've got my die cut images. All right, and there you can see the two dies that I just used. All right, so let's figure out where we want those to go on the front of my card. For one thing, I want to go ahead and determine where this is going to go. So I'm going to start with this, that kind of 2/3 down. And then if we put the package up, or the plant up and the package down, it's a little bottom heavy. We can try switching those two, the plant and the package. And if that's still not working, we can just move our pieces around until we're happy. So let me try this in the center. This might actually balance it a little better with the package below. That's better. And the little plant up here. I think that's what we will go with. Okay, so let's put this in place, and then we will attach those. And I think I'm going to want some little bling on here as well. I'll just remove the backing tape here using my Take Your Pick tool. And then this can get placed right where we want it. And I've got my adhesive way over here to the left, so I'm not in any danger of sticking this down. You can see that that works just fine. And I'm going to give that edge one more good crease. Like I said, it's going to want to pop up a little bit, but once all your pieces are in place, and especially once you put it in the envelope to send or give, then it's going to stay nicely. Okay. We need to determine if these are going to be flat or popped up. So I feel like I'm going to put them popped up. I just feel like they need a little bit of dimension. So let's do that. Get my Stampin' Dimensionals. Those are minis. Here's some full-size ones. Actually, maybe I'll do a big one and a couple minis. You might notice these smaller sheets of dimensionals. When you purchase our kits, which are absolutely amazing, if you need dimensionals to complete the projects that come in the kit, they're often these little smaller sizes, and I ended up with a bunch left over, as you can tell. So that's what I'm pulling from. Same thing here. Okay, we've got our dimensionals there. And now one last look at where we're going to put these. I'm feeling good about the package down here. Sticking to me. All right, let's go ahead and put that at an angle right there. And then our plant. I had mentioned about the ribbon. I'm not even sure that I'm going to use the ribbon. Let's get this in place here, and then oh, there's that backing. See, it keeps clinging to me. I had thought about, I think a bow is going to be too much. This is too wide for a bow on this delicate of a card. But what would happen if we just tie a simple knot? Just a knot. And take a look and see if we can use that somewhere on this card. I like this ribbon because it's just a teeny bit shiny, and it's got a silver edge to it. Maybe not an edge, it's got like a silver thread running through it. All right, if we were to do that and add it, it could certainly go right there. I kind of like it there. Let's go ahead and do that. This might be in place of adding any rhinestones or anything. I don't know. I'm building as I go, so we'll see what happens after I get this into place. All right, let me get a glue dot. So I'm taking a little bit of time as I'm doing the decorating on this card, but let's recall that the card layout is super simple. You've got your 3-inch and 7 1/4 inch score marks, and then you've got your designer series paper glued on, super speedy. We're just taking a little bit of time with the decorating, stepping it up a teeny bit. All right, there's my lemon lolly knot, and I do like it. I think it's cute. All right, I'm feeling like this also needs bling, so let me grab some rhinestones. So I'm over at my embellishments, digging through all of my options, and I'm not finding my plain rhinestones quick enough. They're buried somewhere. I probably used them on something and didn't put them away. So in order to keep this short, fast and easy, we're going to just wrap up this card. I want to show you the other 3, but once I uncover wherever I put my rhinestones, I think I will add just a couple of rhinestones on this. This is good because you can see it without, and you can imagine it with. Here's the inside of the card. Very attractive, fast and easy, and of course I love the stamped images from Attention Shoppers. All right, so here's another one I did in the same designer series paper packet, but different patterns. And on this one, I chose different colors, still within the color scheme. So I've got my Berry Burst larger rectangle here. I mentioned that I used the wine bottles and the cake on this one, and I've got my strip of paper on this side, so that's a teeny bit different. All right, so there we've got those 2. Now let's go back to those month of gratitude or fall cards. So the first one that I did came after the tutorial that I showed you with this beautiful retired paper. We had talked about the paper at the time, and so it was fresh on my mind. And then when I wanted to try this card layout, I immediately reached for that paper. So now you can see this one. And for the decorations, I've got a larger tag shape cut. And then I have my leaves that are die cut. Here's the inside, a little bit of stamping and speckles. So I think that one came out very nice indeed. And then I reached for some old plaid paper, plaid and checks. And once again with the same card design. And after attaching my designer series paper, I did some stamping and die cutting. Here is my little sentiment, and I think it also is just an amazing, beautiful card, and I'll be excited to share this one with some friends in the month of November. So that is our card tutorial for today. Let me bring that one back in that we made. Thank you so much for watching. I do invite you to subscribe to my channel and also press that notification bell so that you get a notice each time I put up a new video. Often I will put up videos from my Stamp Club projects, which are typically a little bit more involved. And then here on Simply Saturday, which is my Saturday series, I try to show you a card or a simple project that is fast and easy to make. Thanks for watching today, and until next time, happy stamping.